And here is another layer most will miss. Choosing your values is an act of leadership for your future self. Because the seasons will change, the pressure will rise, the winds will come, the failures will come. And in those moments, it is easy to drift from who you said you would be. But when you have written your values, when you have anchored them as non-negotiables, you give your future self a gift: clarity in the fog, direction in the storm, power in the pressure. And this is how great leaders sustain greatness, not by talent alone, but by principle. Not by charisma alone, but by character. Not by intensity alone, but by integrity. And this integrity is forged here, in this breath, in this decision, in this disciplined act of writing what will define you. And here's the paradox: the stronger your values, the freer you become. Because when you know what you stand for, you no longer chase approval. You no longer react to every opinion. You no longer dilute your leadership to fit in. You move with presence, with peace, with a quiet, unshakable power that others feel, even if they do not understand it. And that is the power you are building today. So as you write these 3 values, do not choose what sounds good. Choose what is true, what is tested, what is worthy of your life, because you will be tested. Opportunities will come that tempt you to trade your values for comfort, for convenience, for gain. And in those moments, this exercise will not be theoretical. It will be your foundation, and the leaders who rise are those who stand on foundations they built with intention, not those they stumbled into. So choose now, with presence, with courage, with clarity, and once you choose, commit to live them, to breathe them, to lead through them, in every room, in every decision, in every season. Because leadership is not what you say you value, it is what you embody when the world pushes against you. And today, you are choosing the values you will embody. One breath, one word, one leader deeper. And here is one more edge. Your values are not static. They are living, breathing commitments. As you evolve, as your leadership deepens, as your impact expands, your understanding of these values will deepen too. But they must be revisited, re-anchored, lived daily, because leadership drift begins with value drift. The moment you stop reflecting on your values, you begin reacting to circumstance. You begin chasing the urgent over the important. You begin moving through the world shaped by external noise rather than internal clarity. But the leaders who create legacies, the ones whose presence changes rooms, whose decisions shape futures, they return to their values constantly. They revisit them weekly. They use them as filters for every major choice. They speak them into their teams. They model them when it matters most. And this is the leader you are becoming, one breath at a time, one value at a time, one disciplined choice at a time. So once you have written your 3 values, do not file them away. Integrate them. Look at your calendar. Does it reflect these values? Look at your relationships. Do they align with these values? Look at your habits. Do they reinforce these values? Look at your leadership. Do your people feel these values through your actions, not just your words? Because this is the gap most never close. The gap between stated values and embodied values. But the leaders who rise are those who close that gap ruthlessly, who align their actions so tightly with their values that trust becomes their default. Currency and trust is the foundation of all leadership. Without it, nothing scales. With it, everything is possible. And today, you are building that trust with yourself first. Because the first person who must believe in your values is you. The first person who must trust your leadership is you. The first person who must feel your integrity is you. And this is why this work matters so deeply, because leadership is not a role. It is an identity. It is who you are in every breath, in every choice, in every unseen moment. And today, you are forging that identity with presence, with courage, with clarity. So breathe deep, own your values, align your life, lead through them. Because the leaders who shape the future will not be the loudest. They will be the clearest, the most aligned, the most trusted, and you, today, have taken a powerful step toward becoming one of them. One breath, one value, 1% stronger, And here is another edge to integrate. Your values are not just about how you lead others, they are about how you lead yourself. Because leadership is a mirror. The discipline you hold in private determines the presence you command in public. If you cut corners on your values when no one is watching, it will leak. It will show. Your team will feel it. Your family will feel it. The world will feel it. Not through what you say, but through what you are. But when you live your values with integrity, when your unseen moments match your spoken words, you become magnetic. People trust what they feel more than what they hear. And this trust cannot be faked. It must be earned. And this is why today's challenge matters so deeply. Because you are not just writing values, you are wiring leadership identity. You are casting votes for the kind of leader the world needs more of. Aligned, clear, disciplined, present. And here's how you reinforce this. Revisit your 3 values every morning. Breathe into them. Visualize living through them in your day ahead. Speak them aloud. Anchor them in your nervous system. And throughout your day, when tension rises, when choices get hard, when the world pulls at you, pause. Breathe. Return to your values. Ask, what does my value of integrity, courage, service, growth, excellence, presence, etc. call me to do here? Then act through it. Lead through it. Breathe through it. And over time, this becomes who you are. Not forced, not performed, embodied, trusted. And this is what separates leaders who rise and sustain from those who rise and collapse. The ones who build legacies live through values. The ones who chase outcomes at any cost eventually pay a price too high. But you are building differently. One breath, one value, one aligned action at a time. And here is the paradox. The deeper you anchor your values, the more freedom you create. Because clarity simplifies everything. Decisions become easier, boundaries become clearer. Leadership presence becomes stronger, and presence is the rarest currency in leadership today. So breathe now. See your 3 values, feel them, own them, commit to living through them. Today, tomorrow, for life. Because this is the leader you are becoming. One breath, one value, 1% stronger, forever. And now, as you breathe into this next moment, anchor this truth deep within you. The leaders who shape the future are those who lead from values, not from fear. From clarity, not from noise. From integrity, not from impulse. And today, that you have taken a powerful step onto that path. Because choosing your values is not a task. It is a declaration. It is a leadership act. It is the first breath of the E identity you are building. One that will serve not only you, but every life you touch. And the ripple is real. When you live through your values, you give others permission to do the same. When you choose courage over comfort, you create space for others to rise. When you honor presence over distraction, you model what leadership looks like in a fragmented world. And this is the legacy you are beginning to write. Not in a distant someday, but in every breath, every choice, every aligned action you take starting now. So as you move forward from today, carry your 3 values with you. Let them shape your morning rituals. Let them guide your leadership presence. Let them define your relationships. Let them filter your decisions and revisit them often. Because values are not static. They evolve as you evolve. But their power lies in their integration, in your willingness to live them daily, because this is what the world needs. Not more noise, but more clarity. Not more volume, but more alignment. Not more leaders chasing approval, but more leaders modeling integrity. And this is the leader you are becoming, one breath at a time, one value at a time, 1% better forever. So breathe. Stand tall, lead forward, one value anchored, one identity clearer, one leader stronger forever.